I feel like I can speak for myself. I'm really on a journey of seeking peace more than ever in my life. And what that means for me in this particular season of my life is disconnecting from certain ideas, disconnecting from certain things in my life that I feel like are connecting me to the wrong things, are bridging me to the wrong things. And I think for some of us, we're so connected to the ideas that don't serve us, right? We're connected to how people see us. We're connected to the idea of how people feel about us. We're connected to the idea of what success is. We're connected to the idea of, what our worth should be in this world based upon the world standards and how people feel about us. And I would just want to propose this question to you. How would your life look and how would your life be different? How would your life be different if you disconnected from the ideas that don't serve your life? You see, a lot of us, we're in pain because we're connected to this idea that, oh, what was that? That if we don't have such and such in our life, then we're not worth anything. We have no value in our life. And so a lot of us, we think that where we're at in life is not special, it's not worthy, it's not valuable because somebody has, or people, or this world, or our past has convinced us that in order to be something, you have to have X, Y, Z. The idea of that. And for the last few months of my life, I've been disassociating myself with the idea of the world standards of what success is, what love is, and what this is and what that is, because so many of us have been programmed to accept less. So many of us have been programmed to accept pain. So many of us have been programmed to feel that we're not valuable in our life because of the ideas that surround us, because of comparison. Some of us, we look around our life and we look at other people's lives and say, oh, I don't have that, so I must don't have this. I don't have that type of XYZ, so I must not have success in my life. I don't have that type of relationship, so I must not have love in my life. I don't have that type of money, so I must not be wealthy. And I just want to ask you this question as I'm out here disconnecting. One of the biggest principles of protecting your peace is disconnect often. Because when you disconnect, you give yourself time to really evaluate life and what life is about. Some of us, and this was myself for a period of time, some of us, we're living a life that other people created us to live. We're living the idea that other people made us live. We're living the pain that somebody else gave us. We're living the structure that somebody else gave us. And literally, we're not living the life that God created us to live. We're not living the life that we're meant to live. So I come out here and disconnect so I can be able to think, I can be able to evaluate, I can be able to understand, like, what is it in my life that I need to disconnect from that's connecting me to the wrong things, that's connecting me to negativity, that's connecting me to feeling like I'm less, that's connecting me to feeling like I'm not valuable, that's connecting me to feeling like I'm not a good person, that's connecting me to all these things that don't serve my life and don't serve my soul. And some of us, including myself, we keep things in our life that we know we need to disconnect from. And I'm not telling you to kick people out your life. I'm not telling you to, cut people off. This is not this message. What I'm telling you is to ask yourself this question, is what am I connected to that's leading me to something in my life that I know I don't deserve, a mindset that I know that doesn't serve me. Disconnecting often means for me, disconnecting from the world so I can reconnect to my world, disconnecting from the world so I can reconnect to my soul and understand what's important. Because a lot of us, I'm gonna be honest with you, we live in a life that isn't important. And what I mean by this, I'm not saying what you're doing is not important. What I'm saying is that what we're chasing is not important. And most people won't tell you this because most people want to benefit off of you. Most people want to, make you feel like you're missing something. The thing that you're missing in this life, I've said this a million times, here's 1,000,001. And I'm going to keep talking about these things. I'm not going to sit here and just keep talking about random stuff to make myself look smarter. I'm going to talk about the things that I know is true, that I know is real. That I know a lot of people, because I've experienced this, y'all. Look in my eyes. I've experienced these things. I'm not a person that's talking to you out of ideas, out of education, but out of experience to know That if you truly want to live a fulfilled life, there's a lot of things that you must disconnect from. You have to learn how to master the art of isolation in your life to be able to be disconnected somewhere by yourself so you can sit with yourself. I know when I was going through struggles in my life, I tried to stay busy so I didn't have to face myself, so I didn't have to look in the mirror. I stayed busy because I knew if I had downtime, I would have to face my reality. And so I just came on here today, man. I know I haven't tapped in y'all recently for a while because I'm really locked in on this experience, this on April 8th in Dallas. But I just wanted to tap in with y'all just to have you think about disconnecting. If you don't like what's powering your life, disconnect from it. If you don't like what's powering your life, disconnect from it. And again, that isn't always people, y'all. Sometimes it's environments. Sometimes it is people. Sometimes it's the life that we live in. I'm to a point in my life where I'm really working on pursuing true peace, and I fail daily at it. But I want to get to a place where I'm so disconnected. Oh, let me pause for a second here. I got to this live to talk about this. I'm working and I fail daily at it. And I'm getting there though. And I'll be real with you. I fail daily at it because my ego, my human side wants to prove people wrong at times in situations, wants to prove myself right, wants to let people know the truth, doesn't want to let things slide. The human side of me, my past self wants to be like, no, Trent, you got to let people know what it is. You got to tell people the truth so people don't have a certain perception about you based upon what somebody said about you. And so much of my life, I live to prove people wrong, to fight for my character, right? To show people, no, I really am this guy. No, I really care about people, despite what other people say. But I can tell you this, since my mother died, I've really been thinking about over the last few years of like time and energy and peace. Time, energy, and peace. And I've been asking myself this question, and maybe you should too. It's like, how much time, energy, and peace do I want to waste trying to be right, trying to make people understand me that's committed to misunderstanding me, trying to prove people wrong when that's not going to accomplish anything, trying to get people to like me when that's mission impossible, because somebody's view of you is somebody's view of you, no matter how much perfection you give, no matter how much goodness you give, because a lot of people, everybody in this world is right on their own eyes. Everybody in this world is basing their present moment off their present choices, how they feel about people based upon their past experiences. So for some people, it's like, because of what I went through, because of what I dealt with, I feel this way about you. Because I've been hurt in the past by a person, I feel this way about you. Because somebody this color did me wrong, I feel this way about you. Because of my past experiences, this is the way that I feel. And the point I'm trying to make to you and where I'm at in my life and where I'm trying to continuously be in my life and pursue in my life, I've become very uninterested in trying to prove people wrong and even trying to prove myself right to people. I want to say that again. I've become very uninterested in doing that because at the end of the day, it's not about proving anybody right or wrong, because you're right in your own eyes. If you feel a certain type of way, I respect your perspective. Even if I don't agree with it, I respect it. But I think so many of us, we try to change people so much. We try to make people be who we want them to be. And it's a part of our ego. It's a part of our ego saying, no, this is the way you live life. How can I tell you how to live life? That's why I always just give y'all suggestions and shares of my life. But how can I tell you how to live life if I never lived your life? How can I tell you that's wrong if I never went through what you went through? So a lot of what I've been through, a lot of where I'm at right now in my life is I'm letting people have their perspective. And it's okay. It's okay if they feel a certain type of way about you. It's not your job to convince them that you're different. It's okay if they say certain things about you. It's not your job to convince them that you're different. It's okay to live in a life of trying to be right. Just do what's right. And if you doing what's right is going to be wrong to somebody else. This is the world that we live in. Somebody out there in the world probably says hiking is bad for you. And they're right in their eyes. Maybe they had a bad experience with it. But for me, this is my truth. And so I've come to a place in my life where I'm no longer spending energy and time trying to be right, trying to change people's minds, trying to do anything. I'm going to live in my perspective. I'm going to live in my truth. I'm going to live in my light, and I'm going to shine it. And as I shine this light, there's going to be people that get offended. There's going to be people that feels like it's too bright. There's going to be people that tell me to turn it off, and they're right in their eyes because maybe it is too bright for them. But I'm not going to spend my life trying to negotiate my purpose with somebody else, not to negotiate my calling with somebody else, not to negotiate my gifts. I'm not going to spend my life negotiating my gifts with somebody else. I'm not going to do that just because you don't feel it, just because it's not right for you. That's okay. You're not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. And once you truly accept that and you don't take it personal and you realize that that person is just giving you their perspective, their viewpoint, then life becomes a lot more peaceful. You don't let the rumblings in the crowd bother you. You don't let the opinions that are not true to you and for you that they try to put on you bother you. You just continue to walk the path that you feel has been paved for your life. And that's what I feel like, man, is experiencing true peace. When you just respect everybody's perspective and you live your truth. And just know your truth is going to offend. Your truth is going to be disagreed with. And it's okay. Doesn't make you bad. Doesn't make you good. It just makes you being true to who you are. And that's the place that I am in my life. You know, over my journey of 14 years in doing this, I've had plenty of people message me. I had plenty of people come to me and say, oh, Trent, this person's saying this, or, you know, I don't like this, or you shouldn't have said this and this. And I always say, man, I respect their perspective, but I don't have to accept it. And that doesn't mean that I'm above correction. Of course, I'm not above correction, but it means that I'm not going to silence my gifts and negotiate what I know is real and true and what God has called me to do just because somebody else doesn't agree with it. So my ask of you, I guess me coming on live, it's just like in your life, how much time are you wasting? How much energy are you wasting? How much peace are you losing? Trying to defend your name, trying to make people like you, trying to prove people wrong, trying to get people on the same page as you, trying to get people to understand you. Like, how much time, energy, and peace are you wasting and losing in your life? Some people have lived their whole entire life doing that. Some people have lived their whole entire life literally trying to make someone understand them that is fully committed to misunderstanding them. Some of us, we're trying to build relationships that are meant to stay broken. Why? Not because they can't be fixed. It's because the people don't want to fix it. Right? You can't fix something in a situation where one person wants to keep it broken. And so many people have lost themselves over the years trying to get people to see them, trying to get people to like them, trying to get people to love them. And you lived an exhausted life. When you can take that same energy and give it towards yourself and give it towards the people and the things that you love. That's what's definitely helped me over the years be successful. When I say successful, I'm not talking about, you know, a number. I'm not talking about a status. I'm talking about being able to do this consistent for the last 14 years, because there's times, let me be real, there's times where I've been interested in people's opinions. There's times when somebody says something about me, it bothered me, because especially when people say Trent doesn't care. That really used to bother me, because I'm like, man, if y'all knew what doesn't care look like, and I'm far from that. Like, if y'all knew how much I cared for y'all, I'm like, dang, how could somebody say I don't care? But then I realize people say that because I don't do what they want me to do. Because I've seen this happen. I've had somebody say, Trent, you don't care about nobody. And as soon as I gave them my time, they say, Trent, man, you're the most caring person in the world. So I realized in my life, oh, it's not me. It's the actions that I give or what I don't give to that person determines if I'm a good person to them or not. And I said, if I keep living in that space, how empty would my life be? If I keep living in that space, how lost would my life be? If I keep living in that space of trying to be in a, as I call it, triple P, professional people pleaser. If I live in that space, how much energy would I have for the things that I truly love to do? I wouldn't have any. And that's why a lot of us, we're walking around empty, because we're sitting here trying to argue with people. We're sitting here trying to prove points to a closed mind. We're sitting here trying to get people to understand us that's committed to misunderstanding us. We sitting here trying to be right. Even in my closest relationships, I don't want to be right anymore. I just want to do what's right. I want to come to an understanding that you're right in your eyes and I'm right in mine. So I've disconnected literally from my ego in that. You know, recently the other day I had people come to me with some stuff. And it's like, I guess they expected me to feel a certain type of way about it. You know, I guess they were telling me these things to make me react, to make me, you know, get me out of my character. And my response was, at first, I'm gonna be real, the human side of me wanted to kick in and say, man, what? How could they ever say that about me? All the things that I've done for these people, how much I really care. And then I caught myself. I said, Trent, they're right in their eyes. And it is no business of yours to sit here and try to convince them if they don't want to see it anyway. You can spend your energy trying to convince some people that claim they don't like you anymore, or you can spend your energy on those that need you right now. And I've decided in my life not to spend my energy on people's opinions, because at the end of the day, no hater can stop God's favor. When you highly favored, it doesn't matter. I've had people say, Trent, I'm unfollowing you. Okay. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. If you're unfollowing me and that's best for your life, I support it. I support it. But I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to lose sleep about it. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing about it. I'm going to continue my mission. Trent, I'm not supporting you no more because you didn't respond to me in a timely manner. Or you made whatever the case may be. I respect it. But I'm not going to stop the calling that's been placed on my life. I'm not going to allow the 0.0001% of complaints of whatever take my focus off of the 99.9% that matters. I'm not going to allow somebody making my day, trying to make my day go bad, prevent me from going live talking to y'all. Prevent me from creating podcasts, prevent me from doing my events, prevent me from doing the things that I do. I got into this space not to be liked. I got into this space to do what I feel is right. And what I feel is right isn't always right. I'm a human. But I know I try my best to spread peace, help people as much as I can. So I know I talked about a lot today out here in nature, man. Feels good to get back out here with my foot. I'm able to really walk again a little bit. But I know I shared a lot, but my main reason of coming on here was to really just have a conversation with you and really push you to start thinking about that. Like, what do you need to disconnect from? Is it your ego? Right? Is it certain ideas that have formed your reality, the more I seem to disconnect from the things that don't matter, the more I seem to live a life that does.